saying?
First of all,
it won't say 1 minute ago until it's officially 1 minute ago. So I don't want to hear that.
First of all,
I don't want to hear that.
First of all, no, you're wrong.
Late
you're wrong.
Again.
No, you're wrong.
People.
You're wrong.
Again, people. Welcome to the Chill Squad, people. We are here, fashionably late. 1 minute, but still fashionably late, people. And I need y'all to understand this. Abaddon's like, yo, we started on time. No,
we didn't start on time.
1 minute late. We kept the streak going. Fashionably late as always. How's everybody doing?
You know what, Nick? I don't like you right now, dog.
So hurtful.
So hurtful. You know.
Who hurt you? Who hurt you?
Man, nobody hurt me. Like
it's not funny without Rob being here.
Like I told Nick I didn't like Xenoblade, and he hit me and said I couldn't read good.
Oh goodness!
I did not say that.
What just happened? This just got dark very fast.
I did not say that.
This got dark very fast. But what's happening, everyone? This is Abaddon, Studio Nintendo, and it's your player too. Thank you so much for coming through. Yes, I'm using my webcam because I cannot, for the life of me, find my my dummy battery for this camera. So without risking my main battery dying so fast, we're just gonna use the webcam. So it is what it is. But with that, we're gonna go to Studio Nintendo. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing good, feeling good. Feeling better, you know.
I love it.
And you know, just trying to get through. I got about tomorrow, Monday, so I got 3 more days of this stuff, and then I get to go back to work on Tuesday if everything goes according to plan. So, looking good, I guess.
Nice.
Until then, I'm still broke. Until then, I'm still broke.
Nah, you ain't broke, man.
But now, I'm feeling good, man. I've been playing some Nier Automata the last 2 days, and I cannot believe I've been sleeping on that game for 2 years. That game is a masterpiece, in my opinion. I love it. I absolutely love the game. So, yeah, I mean, I've been ignoring it because, you know, like you see B2, you see 2B, and you see how everybody, you know, how people are on the internet with weebs and stuff, how they just make stuff all crazy and stuff, and so I just ignored the game. I was like, oh man, it's one of them crazy games. Nah, dude, game's solid. Game was solid and great. I'm enjoying Nier Automata. Like, I probably should have played that when it came out, but oh well, you know. 3 years later, still good. Playing on the Xbox One X, so it's got that upgrade on it, so it looks smooth and it looks great. 16, however many frames per second, 60, I guess. I don't know. It looks like 60. It feels smooth. I love it.
It's better late than never, right?
Yeah, right. Better late than never.
Right.
Cool. That's what's up, man. And your player too. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I got a little bit of a headache, so no cam for me tonight. But mostly it's been a good week. I got a lot of work done on the channel, and I was real happy because I've gotten better at trying to wrap up some stuff on my backlog. So I wrapped up Ghost of Tsushima last weekend. Which I was very happy about. Now, when I say wrapped it up, I mean that loosely, right? Like, I rolled credits on it, but I did not.
You did it 100%. No, I feel you.
Yeah, not on 100%, but
I feel you.
Honestly, there's a lot of reason for me to return to it. Not just because obviously there are a lot of side quests in it, and the game's just it's one of, I think, one of the most beautiful games I've ever played.
Yeah.
But you know,
what game is this?
Ghost of Tsushima. I wrapped it up.
Oh, did you wrap it up finally? Oh, yeah. Bro, I thought you were gonna wrap it up before me, bro. Dude, man,
it's phenomenal. Like I love how the story
played out. Game of the year.
It's weird because I had joked him and, like, you know, that's kind of a dark horse contender for me for Game of the Year, right? Because I had other heavy hitters this year, right? Obviously, we all had Final Fantasy VII Remake. For me, Last of Us Part 2, even though a lot of people hated on it. But Ghost of Tsushima, man, like, it's very, very much in the running for my Game of the Year.
Yes.
You know, I've got a lot of reason to return to it. One is, like, those side quests are amazing. It only really took me this long because I kept getting derailed by side quests because they're so much fun.
Yep.
And then, honestly, like, I was going to make a video about, like, my most anticipated games to play, you know, when these new systems launch. And Ghost of Tsushima is still on that list because, I mean, that's right around the time we're getting Ghost of Tsushima multiplayer. And I'm real down to play the Ghost of Tsushima multiplayer. Like, that looks incredible.
So what was your choice?
Well, I don't want to spoil anything.
Well, you're not. Don't spoil it. Just say honor or no honor.
Honor. I know
You
what you
went
did, Nick. I know
that-
what you did.
What? Dang.
I'm sorry. You know,
You went that route?
I had to go that route.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, all right, like think about it. Okay, well, no, I can't even talk about it because it was spoiled.
I know, but man, like,
I'll put it in the chat. Hold on.
yeah, put it in the chat, like, cause bro, like, yeah, that's crazy.
I have no clue.
Yeah.
We would never spoil it for you. Don't look. Well, don't look, yeah, I'll DM you.
I won't look in the chat.
I won't even risk it. Hold on.
Yeah,
Man. Aside from this headache, man, it's been a good week, and I'm glad I finished up Ghost of Tsushima. Now I'm working on Doom Eternal because I promised Gamer Thumb to get that by the end of the year. And man, it's hard not to get pumped up playing that game. It's so visceral and fast, and the music's incredible, and I love that game.
Yeah, I watched your tweet the other day. You were like, "There's always a straggler."
Yeah, like one dude left. I was like, I thought this game was supposed to be hyper violent and overwhelming. I was like running around for like 40 seconds trying to find this one like scrub enemy that was like hiding from me in that Slayer challenge.
Yeah, I don't know. I Doom's never really done it for me, and I don't know. It just seems like a game that I wouldn't enjoy. Too fast paced. Like, it's not the gore or the dark, but it's just it's just how fast it is.
Right.
So for me, we shall see. Man, but Ghost of Tsushima, let's go.
Yeah,
I'm about
I
to
just
start.
DM'd you my thoughts. I think you'll agree.
So, you know what I'm about to start? I'm gonna get myself in a rotation of about 3 games right now. So,
all right.
Nier Automata is 1. I'm playing Persona 4.
Oh, I'm playing 5. Go on.
Death Stranding is about. Death Stranding is about to be my 3rd game that I'm throwing in the rotation.
Oh, please keep me posted on your Death Stranding progress. I definitely want to hear what you think. But is this your first time playing through Persona 4? Because I have beat Persona 4. I would please keep me informed on both of these games.
Okay, I will.
I know you're a man of taste. I would like to hear what
you know, like so far with Persona 4, I'm not. It hasn't hooked me yet like 5 did. So it's gonna be a minute. Right now I'm in my 2nd dungeon. So everybody keeps telling me wait till you get to the 3rd. If you're not hooked by the 3rd, then it may not be for you. So right now I'm not hooked yet, but so far the game is shorter than Persona 5, and I'm enjoying it because like I'm at the 12-hour point, and I'm at the 2nd dungeon. Like at the 12-hour point in Persona, you ain't even.
That's what blew me away playing 5. It's like I beat 4 and I was like breezing through dungeons pretty much, and then on 5 I was like I'm like 25 hours in. Like, just
you're not even passing up the first palace yet. Like good night.
Yeah, but I have so much love for the characters in 4. Like. And I bet I will in 5 by the time I'm done with it.
Oh, you will.
I have so much love for the characters.
So far, my favorite character in 4 is probably Yuriko. So far, maybe. That's
your favorite character from 4?
Yeah, so far.
Which girl is best girl in 4? This is an important question because me and the looters argue about it. There's a wrong answer. I won't judge you too harshly, but I am curious.
I won't give you an answer until I get everybody. How about that?
I find your terms acceptable. That's okay.
There you go. You will get an answer. You will get an answer later.
Fair enough. I DM'd you my thoughts on that choice.
As we get in, we're gonna give a shout out to the chat. First Twitter. Of all, shout out to Chris Levi and Chips and Sticks joining us in the chat. Appreciate you. We have the 5 viewers who came in. Thank you so much for coming out. We're gonna go ahead and jump right into tonight's topic because it's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one. Between the 3 of us, we're gonna really discuss PlayStation 5 versus Xbox Series X.
Yes.
And literally who is going to be the highlight of this entire holiday season. And it's not as easy as people think, in my opinion. Because and for those of you who are wondering, I just worked on music all week. That's all I did all week. Barely any video games. I'm not that important.
I mean, the only thing I did was play Madden, and then I started Nier 2 days ago, and that was a mistake.
Yeah,
but there will be some good covers coming out of it.
Oh, there's gonna be some great work coming up next week in the music. Well, I can't wait to show you all that. So I can't.
There
wait.
you go.
So yeah, but back to what we were saying. So PlayStation 5 is focusing more on the games aspect and providing more games and more quality games for the consoles, and it's really good. You know, it's really cool just with this. Come on, man, Miles Morales.
PlayStation's not okay. I think up front PlayStation is worrying about the games.
That's what I'm talking about. Up front for
Okay,
this holiday
'cause, like,
season.
okay,
I'm talking about this holiday season.
I'm about to say, like, bro, what are you talking about?
We're
Didn't
talking-
Microsoft
we're
just
talking-
do something crazy?
We're talking about this is holiday season. This is holiday season.
Okay,
Right.
all right.
So who's gonna make? Because this holiday season is, it's not gonna lie, it's a big opportunity to make a good momentum with sales. Like as we've seen from history, if a console has great momentum in their first 3 months, they're good to go. We saw that with the PlayStation 4. We've seen it unfortunately with the Xbox One, where they didn't do so good with the good momentum. We saw that with the Wii U. We saw that with the Nintendo Switch, where if you had good momentum, you did good. If you didn't have good momentum, you didn't do so good overall. So this could be a make or break for the lifespan of the console, believe it or not. And that's why I wanted to talk about this, because while PlayStation,
I'm trying to think because I think like right now, I think both consoles have momentum. I think I really do.
Oh, absolutely. I
believe
want to talk.
that.
I wanted to talk about that.
Like
Take it away.
everybody thinks it's going to be, you know, one sided with the PlayStation, but I don't think it is. I think Microsoft is making a bunch of moves in their own right to still be relevant, and even more so, more relevant later down the road with some of the stuff they're doing. Now, I mean, right now the pre-order issue was, you know, that's a thing. Not everybody's gonna get the pre-order. Some others are getting canceled, so we'll wait and see there. I think that might put a little bit of might hold the reins back a little bit on momentum per se. With how I heard people getting their pre-orders canceled, so it doesn't seem like there's a whole bit of availability this holiday as everybody thought there would be. But I don't know. It's hard to tell. Like up front, yeah, like PlayStation's got all the games this holiday, and Microsoft really doesn't have anything. You know, they're supposed to have Halo, but they don't. But I think that'll be good for PlayStation in the forefront. But with all the moves Microsoft's making, and the fact that they just bought Bethesda and they're still working on their own IPs at the same time, on top of that, Hellblade's coming. On top of that, they're doing the whole, you can now go to GameStop or a Microsoft store, and now you can put a console, pretty much basically walk out with a console with a down payment and make payments on it later. I think they have a little bit of a model that's going to keep them relevant, and then even more so with Game Pass and everything later. So I don't know. It's hard telling. Like PlayStation's gonna do good up front and do well up front, but later it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be a lot more even than everybody thinks it's gonna be.
I agree, and that's, well, in fact, Josh, do you have anything you want to say before I chime in?
Yeah, well, I'll just say that, like, in terms of just raw out of the gate value proposition, I think the PlayStation's taken it. I mean, they've got Miles Morales and Demon's Souls. Those are two pretty heavy hitters right there. They're already technically well-respected series, even if, you know, one's just a remake, but still, there's definitely an audience for those. But then again, at the same time, I think, kind of to Nick's point, well, I'll say two things. One is that I think the Xbox as a brand represents a greater value at scale, just because they've got 4 generations of backward compatibility too, which is something that Sony really gets with their system.
That's what I want to talk about.
And I don't think it's quite
well. They aren't they going to be like 4,000 games backwards compatible with PlayStation 4 or something like that? I heard that news that just came out.
Yeah, like
so at least they got that.
Very few that won't work. So I'm not going to say they have no backward compatibility, but I think that pound for pound, I think if you're looking at the raw volume of games, I think Microsoft probably has them beat. But then beyond that, I think that speaks to the larger advantage that Microsoft's positioned itself with in the marketplace, and that is that they have come off exceedingly, just ridiculously consumer friendly with the Series X because of things like you mentioned, like backward compatibility, the fact that they're the controllers from last gen you can absolutely use on your Series X, which is something you can't do on the PlayStation 5. they've made everything about the system easy to get into. I mean, Game Pass obviously is an incredible value proposition in its own right. And they've been like, and it's weird because I think they deleted one or two of these tweets, but they threw some shade at Sony this week too, just kind of mocking them for like the difficulty of upgrading their storage after the PS5 teardown, and then also even though I thought the stand for the PS5 was a really elegant design, the fact that they were like, oh, to make our system go from vertical to horizontal, you just turn it over, like just kind of needless little jabs at Sony. But I suppose it's recompense for the beginning of the Xbox One generation when they were making fun of Microsoft's game sharing and everything.
Mm-hmm. Well, just the point that I went out, and Josh, you pointed out very well that with Xbox is not totally behind. What I see that Sony is doing that's going to be a helpful model for them, they have a lot of games that's going to bring a newer audience to buy PlayStation 5s. And not only that, yeah, the Miles Morales is a good sell, believe it or not. Because people who didn't get Spider-Man,
I know it's a good sell.
People who didn't get Spider-Man, and it's a good incentive for people who have PlayStation 4 to get PS5. It's like, even though you can get this on PS4, when you look at the comparison between the two, is night and day how that game plays.
Well, I get that, I get that, like the Miles Morales and the Demon Souls, but to me, like, I know we're talking about games, so we got to think in the context of gamers, and yes, you're right. That's a good push for gamers, but I'm not thinking like
I'm gonna touch that. I'm that too. I'm
thinking of the whole thing here, like, because that's the one thing I'm trying not to be like small mind thinking of in my own world. I'm trying to think of the entire gaming market, which would be regular people that aren't really into gaming as much as we are,
and that's why I actually want to touch into. So that I'm gonna touch on Microsoft. I'm saying like Sony's pros right now.
Right. And Sony's got a lot of pros.
And like in terms of not only that, but you looking down the line, they got Final Fantasy 16, which is coming a lot sooner than people think, in my opinion.
Which is crazy.
That game is coming a lot sooner. That game is not going to take as long as 15. Then you have Horizon Zero Dawn 2. You have a whole bunch of games coming out probably within the window of 2021. So Sony has a good presentation of games, which is why they're sold out already. However, Microsoft, even though they don't have Halo, they have a more loyal base that is willing to support their vision with Game Pass and the future of digital gaming, which is absolutely huge because it is way different from us than when we were growing up right now. I get it. A lot of people don't like Game Pass, and OJ and I had a small debate. I was in this chat. I couldn't vocalize him. Shout out to OJ, by the way, if he's watching, where we didn't agree on ownership of games and stuff like that. And I'm looking like in the way that we're going into the future, almost everything is going digital. We first saw this in the music industry when like Napster, LimeWire, these were peaks to show. Those were like tints in the armor to show for Spotify, SoundCloud, and everything just went digital. And now album sales are almost irrelevant. They're just like props. For the most part.
Everything is streaming numbers.
And
what are your streaming numbers?
Exactly.
Music.
So
and that's where gaming is going pretty soon.
That's exactly where I'm going with that. Where it's like it's going to be like owning the games is almost like irrelevant, and the pass and the subscription fee that Xbox is pushing, they are pioneers for something huge in the future. Because do not be surprised if this partnership that Microsoft has with Nintendo influences Nintendo. Eric with the $5. This is great night, people. Going to work. I'll watch in the morning. Stay safe, everyone. You stay safe too, my brother. Thank you so much for your donation and your love for the ChillCast. We really do appreciate you. So, this is the part that I'm thinking about. I'm thinking like they're looking further down the line, because if this partnership with Microsoft and Nintendo grows in a way, and GameStop, yes, that was recently announced too. If this happens in a way where Nintendo starts doing a subscription fee for their first party games, that's going to be huge. That's going
That
to
would be
be
pretty big.
absolutely huge, and that's going to force Sony's hand to not be so exclusive. Because Microsoft, what they're trying to do, they're very smart. They're trying to say, you know what, we could survive if we're all working together, and they're trying to do that bit by bit. Because they know if we try to compete against each other, somebody's going to die off eventually.
Yeah, like Sega.
Exactly. But they're looking at it from a marketing standpoint of, if we aim to work together slowly with everybody and show the value in working together, then we can all stay in business. We all make more money. Everybody wins. And that is a very shrewd marketing play-by-play by Phil Spencer to do that. So that's why I see this as, it's not so one-sided, because the Series X promotes the future of gaming, in my opinion.
Well,
I agree with that.
I don't know. Like, on the one hand, I want to agree with you. I also think that's a little idealistic, because I think if Microsoft could snap their fingers tomorrow and just wipe Sony off the map, and they would be like the go-to spot aside from Switch for most console gaming, I think they'd do it. But let's assume that you're entirely correct, and they just see that, you know, it is a more productive, idealistic future for them to be like, okay, let's promote things like crossplay, and you know, let's not make our system so locked down that you can't enjoy the experience on other machines, like through, you know, xCloud, for example. At the very least, it is a tremendous PR move, because everyone is just seeing Microsoft right now as being super consumer friendly, and that is just inherently appealing in its own right.
I agree.
Like, they look like the good guys, and it's weird because they're not coming out and saying it overtly, but the subtext there is, if we're the good guys, Sony's the bad guys. They're not saying it, but it's building that in people's minds. Like, they're framing it that way.
Yeah, and it's like you said, it's a shrewd marketing strategy, because I do agree with you. If they had it in their possession, in their power to go ahead and if they had it in their possession to go ahead and wipe Sony off the map, they would. But this is, if we was to, I'll use this example. This is kind of like the whole old lion versus new lion battle. And it's almost like it's like, instead of Microsoft, you know, being the company that they are, technically they're the older lion when it comes into the game, because they've been on PCs first, then they migrated into consoles. Right. So they have to play this differently, because even though they've always been a third-party vendor for games, making their own games, that's been a challenge. And outside of Halo and Gears of War and a whole bunch of shooters, you're not going to really appeal to people over in the Eastern market who like RPGs and action-adventure games. Right. So that's where Sony and Nintendo take a lot of their market share. So that's why, in this case, instead of trying to go against them, they know their limits. They know, based upon the people that they have building for them, they have not built a successful action RPGs, action adventure games, or RPGs. That's why that power move they did with Sega to get Phantasy Star Online 2 was so huge.
Not only that, Phil Spencer's been in Japan Phil Spencer has been in Japan for the sole reason of what you just said, that he knows what he's got to do in order to get some support for the Xbox and some of the JRPGs and some of those games onto the Xbox. He knows what he's got to do. And the reveal show, that first show they had, what was it, in May, where everybody was still making fun of them because they don't have any games, but they showed that one game from Bandai Namco. I can't remember the name of it, but that game looked fire. But that was, why did that happen? Because that was his influence of him going over there, Phantasy Star Online. So he knows what he's got to do. He knows he's been over there. He's been talking to Nintendo. He's been talking to Sega. That rumor of them marketing the Xbox overseas as a Sega console, I don't think that wasn't, just hubbub. I think that was a potential thing that could have probably happened, but they decided not to let it happen. He knows the importance of the East. He does. He really does. So Phil Spencer's not stupid. Xbox is really trying really hard to do whatever they can to appeal to all gamers, not just one, not just their own base, everybody. Absolutely. I just don't. Once again, Sony, like we said, Sony up front, this generation with all the games that they got a lineup that's probably set to 2021, like you said, always to the end of 2021. Miles Morales, Demon Souls, Horizon. Was Crash one of them, right? Crash 4, Ratchet and Clank. Was Ratchet and Clank another one? So they have their exclusive probably set up from now till to the end of 2021. So yeah, but I feel like in the long run, with like Josh just said, with them being very consumer friendly, with them doing the subscription things for people to actually get into their what they call that, the ecosystem, whether it's an Xbox One Series X or an Xbox Series S, and you be able to put the payments down on top of that. Now you're in on Game Pass and Xbox Live. I feel like that's gonna bode well for them, for people that maybe aren't willing to drop $500 off the rip to get into this next generation. Because like I said, there are really casual people out there that are going to say, that's $500. Why do I got to spend $500 on that? What game's going to play? Most of these people are still going to keep playing Fortnite and Among Us, Fall Guy. You know what I mean? They're going to we got to think about that individual as well. I know gamers hate thinking about those individuals, but you have to.
You do.
There is a solid market for that. There is going to be a mom who is going to say, okay, I'm walking into GameStop, and the retailer is literally going to tell her, oh, do you want the PlayStation 5? Well, $500. Or do you want an Xbox once these consoles come available? Oh, well, guess what? It's only $24 a month. You're walking out with a console, and then they're going to give you Game Pass and all that stuff for free for the however long Xbox gives it to you for free for off the rip, because that's what they do with that too. So Microsoft's gonna do whatever it can to get you into that ecosystem. It's going to work. Trust me, it will work.
Yeah, and I'll say this, something that I think probably even positions them better to kind of get people pulled into that ecosystem. That I think the biggest advantage right now of the GameStop Microsoft deal that was published this week is, first off, GameStop is going to be basically powering all of their online network POS systems off of Microsoft's Azure platform, right? Just leveraging the existing incredible enterprise, cloud architecture they already have in place. Like they've been well established enterprise. That's been their bread and butter for years. However, what I think is a big part of that, aside from them just being like, okay, yeah, we're going to host our POS system on Microsoft systems, and Microsoft's being like, yeah, we'll kick you guys to do hardware tablets to, or I think they're going to be using like Surface Pros or something for their in-store sales associates. I think part of that deal, and I don't know whether that's been explicitly stated, but it's certainly, I think, implied, is Microsoft's going to get access to all of that data. Now, you can say what you want to about GameStop. You can hate them if you want, but they have more. They probably have more consumer data about how gamers spend their money when it comes to physical media than any other retailer.
Absolutely.
And I mean, if there's one thing we've learned from applications, from web services, from almost any successful business model in our age, it's that whoever has the most data and can analyze it most effectively wins the game, right? I mean, like, Microsoft's never taken down Google because they're already too entrenched with all of the data they have on everybody all over the planet, that I don't think anybody could conceivably dethrone them as a search engine, or at least not for a very long time. And by same measure, I mean, like, Sony doesn't have the same architecture the same enterprise level architecture for things like, cloud streaming and things like this, like Microsoft does. And now they just got a huge win, not just from the Bethesda deal, which is amazing in its own right, but now they're going to have potentially access to just how long, what, 10, or no, not 10. It would be like, what, 20, 25 years worth of purchasing data from gamers across multiple consoles. Like, that's insane.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. I never thought about that aspect of it, but you're right. With the data that they can get now, that they will they will have for marketing, or knowing how people are going to spend, or this and that.
And I just thought of something else too. So, like, on top of this, like, when Abaddon's talking about like how good it is for them to be so friendly and buddy with everyone and promote crossplay, the fact that they've got this very close relationship now with Nintendo, and Reggie's on the board at GameStop,
exactly,
and Microsoft has this deal. I mean, that's a pretty solid combo of business acumen right there.
That's huge. Chris Levi in the chat said when Xbox bought Bethesda, they got a studio from Japan in Tango Gameworks, and in a year like this is a payment plan. It's a really good selling point. Absolutely,
Yeah, definitely.
So I wanted to segue into another half of the topic because we've touched a lot on like generation between PS5 and Xbox Series X, and as of course as for those of you who don't know, PlayStation 5 this week they got announced that they have a feature called Game Boost, which is very similar to Xbox Series X Smart Delivery. So the older games will get a boost now on the PlayStation 5, which
cool.
That's
should.
Yeah, that's a good incentive to get a PlayStation 5. But with
It
that.
should.
With and JP in the chat earlier said, your player two addressed it, but I just want to also give him the verbal shout out because I appreciate him coming by. He said Xbox definitely seems like a better console to me, but I want to play Final Fantasy 16, Spider-Man, God of War, etc. At the end of the day, I like PlayStation games too much, and that's fair. You're always gonna have that. See, JP is a great example of somebody where I'm like, those games that they showed off is going to be a high selling point to buy that.
Yeah.
To buy that console first over the Xbox Series X, where it's almost like, outside of the teraflops, why should I upgrade from my One X or from my Xbox One to the Series X? Like, what's the incentive?
Trust me, I ain't upgrading nothing right now. Like,
me neither.
I have the One X, and I will keep that One X until sometime next year where I get the Series X. I'm not even gonna upgrade to the PlayStation 5. If I'm gonna be real with you, like those games are coming to the PS4. I don't care if they look worse on the PS4. They're still coming to the PS4, so I'm still playing them on my PS4. Like,
bro,
you're not about to give me the jump.
I barely play my video games now. Would I look like buying a whole other console?
And that too. Like you said, like, bro,
I need to. That's $500. For me, $500 is a lot of money. So I'll upgrade next year, possibly.
$500 is a bunch of guitar plugins.
Thank you,
my guy. Stuff.
My guy.
You know what I'm saying? Like I feel you on that because trust me, if somebody hand me $500 and they're like, okay, you want to get this new PS5, maybe, but I also want to get this new. I also want to get this new CPU and this guitar plugin.
You know what else is $500? Omnisphere. The synth plugin.
Nah, bruh. I found this out. We can talk about this later.
Yeah, we can talk about this later. Anyway, let's go into the secret topic. Yes, we got a secret topic for you all. Something that we decided to talk about because we wanted to kind of like shake things up and not just focus too much on what is trending and that's what's talking about. And we found a topic that no one's really talking about, and that's Best Buy's Black Friday sales are going to compete with Amazon Prime Day. Amazon Prime Day is next Monday.
Ooh.
So Best Buy's about to go put stuff on
next
sale.
Next Tuesday and Wednesday. Next
Tuesday and Wednesday. That's kind of wild. That's under the radar kind of news. Now,
yes, I didn't want to. I would put that in the title. Now I was waiting for a lot of us to get in and everything. I'm gonna put this in the title now after we spoke about it. But now, yes, that is something to talk about because
that's on iPhone Day too.
I did not expect that. That caught me by surprise because that means like Black Friday sales are starting in mid-October now. That is absolutely wild. So
look, man, people
go for it.
Look, man, they want your money. That's the best way to put it. They want your money, and I've been said this. Best Buy is in my opinion, is the electronics, the king of electronic retail. Like Best Buy is it. Obviously, but this is huge. But how long is it going to last? Is it just
for those 2 days? Just to those 2 days.
And then
so they're gonna.
It looks like they're price matching too, though. So like if like Black Friday proper rolls around and it's cheaper than what you bought it for during this event, then they'll refund you the difference.
Mm-hmm.
That's not bad.
I like it.
So and you know they're gonna have on Black Friday in itself. So it's almost like they're having 2 sales days, and it's like this is huge because a lot of people don't know this, but a lot of companies compete with Amazon. A lot of companies, many people don't know that Amazon and PayPal are competitors, which is why you can't use PayPal on Amazon.
Which is stupid.
It's not. They're direct competitors with each other because they have Amazon Pay. If
I don't care about Amazon Pay.
You don't, they do. That's why they don't allow PayPal.
And then that's why they ain't getting my money either. You know about that? That's a lot of reason why they ain't been getting my money. They ain't taking PayPal or PayPal cards, which is even more just hurtful.
Yes, very hurtful. So, but Josh, I'm interested in your thoughts on this too.
On the Black Friday deal?
Yes.
I mean, it makes sense for them to try to get out ahead of it. Plus, we're in a very unique position, you know, on account of just the state of things right now in the world. I mean, because right now, I think it's the same philosophy as Microsoft is doing with the payment plan, right? I mean, we're in economically very uncertain times. Like, a lot of people had their livelihood jeopardized by everything that happened this year. So a lot of people are being more judicious. They're thinking more carefully about how they're going to spend their money, especially with the holidays coming up and everything. So honestly, some people are probably thrilled at the prospect of getting out in front of some of that and getting it out of the way now. And if Amazon makes a big splash and people are like, okay, I budgeted X amount for things like TV upgrades or the new iPhone or wireless headphones or laptops or whatever it is, they're just going to scoop up all of that holiday spending before Best Buy is going to get the chance. And Best Buy is already disadvantaged just on account of social distancing. And, we're not going to have, obviously, a traditional sort of Black Friday, chaotic breakdown like we normally do in the States every year. I mean, I say that, and we absolutely will. In some places, we will absolutely still have that.
Oh, man, bro. I don't think, that's really irresponsible for that to happen.
Dude, I'll bet you dollars to donuts we're going to see the same kind of stuff and everyone doing social media.
You're not
yeah,
wrong.
You will.
You're not wrong.
You're
just
not wrong
keep the
at all.
mask on and people going to be fighting, taking their mask off, doing the whole stretchy, smack people in the face mask, with facing the mask stuff. Like, we're going to see it. You're right. But still, like,
and honestly, it's probably in the larger interest of public safety for them to do this and do amazing sales online in advance of this to hopefully kind of, I hate to say it, but kind of like flatten the curve of people who are still thinking like, I don't care if it's COVID, I'm getting a 75-inch TV on Black Friday. Like, maybe they'll thin out some of those people.
Because people don't care. And it's just some of the sales, just to give some people just some headweight. A Samsung 70-inch 4K TV is going to be for $530 down, and it's from $750.
Yep. I got it pulled up over here.
That's insane.
Yeah, dude, like, it's crazy thinking, because I got a buddy right now who he's very excited for the Series X. He got his pre-order squared away, and one of the things he's been super excited about, and he's been talking to me about it for like a year, is he really wants to get like a really awesome TV to go with it. He's been kind of limping by on his existing TV, even had to repair it once and order like a replacement board for it to keep it going. So he's been real pumped about getting the new TV. And it's so funny for me to think that you can get something as grandiose as a 70-inch TV for that kind of a price. Like, I remember the first flat screen TV I bought was like in 2005, and it was $1,000 for a 42-inch TV.
Yikes!
And now, like, you can get a 42-inch TV for like $150.
Yeah, I got my 50-inch right here for like $300 or $400 back 7 years ago. Yeah, about 7 years ago, more than 7 years ago, almost 8 years ago actually.
Right.
So. But I did want to touch on what Dark Void said. He said the thing, unfortunately, most Americans are still out of work, and many savings are gone. Black Fridays are kind of useless. I wanted to kind of like touch on that. So it's like,
I agree
with that. It's like, is it really smart?
It's not useless. It's not useless, bro. I just saw a report that said that even in COVID, there have been more new billionaires happen during this time period in a while. So people are still spending money, believe it or not. People are still capable of spending money right now, and people are making money. It's just how it is. Like, even when people are unemployed, somehow people are making money. It's kind of wild if you think about it. So, Black Friday won't be kind of useless because it's going to be an economic boost. And then think about that. What if y'all get them stimulus checks that they supposed to be handing out during? Come on, man. Like, I'm just saying, like, just think about that stuff.
If they give out another stimulus check, that'll be
Just think about that.
I
So
don't. Yeah, we're not getting
it
into
may
that.
it may be deemed useless, but I'm just being real with you, dude. Like, they're making money somehow, and people are spending money somehow. It's kind of wild if you think about it.
Yep.
Yeah, but that's pretty much all I got to say on that. But chat, it is. Let me see something. Are we? Is our chat night? Because we have a lot less viewership this week, but it's all good. Well, shoot, if that's the case, we're gonna get it wrap on up and get on out of here, because we pretty much touched on the next generation of gaming, and we touched on Best Buy competes with Amazon. So we're gonna get on out of here. I know it's a lot earlier this week. For everyone who is watching, we will give you a channel update for this time. Yeah, it's a good time to give you guys a channel update. So things will be changing with the Chill Squad channel. For one, we're gonna start clocking in videos an hour or less, because we want to remove just like extra fluff in speaking. And also starting in November, we'll be going to a pre-recorded rubric? What's the word I'm looking for? Is it rubric? Pre-recorded format, along with it being on Wednesdays and at an earlier time. Because right now we notice on Fridays, a lot of people, things have changed since 2 years ago when the podcast first started. As you all remember, the very first episode was a call-in show, with just myself. Then it grew to have Chips and Sticks and Your Player 2. Then it grew to have Student Nintendo. Then it grew to have Rax the Great at one point. And it grew to have Rob Regal. And we became, and X, of course. And then we became, just the Chill Squad family at that point. And I not only I myself, but we just decided, what, we want to make a show better for all of you. So we're looking at Wednesdays. At what time? Not yet, but it's going to be pre-recorded and it's going to be premiered on Wednesdays. And we're going to start cutting down the show to about an hour or less. So that is the update for you all. We just want to thank you all for always supporting us and allowing us to grow and to mesh this thing into something greater for you all. And with that said, we're going to jump right in the outro, starting with Studio Nintendo.
Oh yeah, so you can find me on everything Studio Nintendo. Studio Nintendo is everything. YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, all of that. There will be some content coming next week, I promise. I have been spending most of my time in COVID working on some Xenoblade Chronicles music. I'm gonna be real, be honest with you. I thought I'd get something out this week, but bro, I'm not gonna lie. When you got COVID and you try to work on something like music, it wears you out real quick. I didn't think it would, but I had to work on stuff like an hour at a time and be done. That's how bad it got. So finally got something will be coming out next Friday. I can't wait. Okay, it is something I've been working really hard on, and I hope you guys will enjoy it. It is a Xenoblade Chronicles 2 song. Avalon knows what it is, and
I can't wait for that one.
Can't wait. So there you go. Be on the lookout.
Cool. Your Player 2. Where can they find you, Your Player 2?
Yes, you can find me at youtube.com/YourPlayer2. And kind of dovetailing off the Night Stop, one of the recent videos I put up on my channel, I'll go ahead and drop it in the chat, was why I think this is one of, if not the most confusing console generations to manifest so far, for about 3 or 4 different reasons, if you want to check that out. My content usually drops on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tuesdays when I do things that are related to tips, strategy, gear, if you are a content creator yourself within the video game arena. Thursdays is when I drop content that's just sort of fun, my own video game stuff like the ones I just linked. And I finally brought live streaming back to the channel after about a 3-month hiatus as I got moved into a new place, got my folks moved up here. So I'm just doing spooky stuff through all of October. Right now I'm playing Deadly Premonition on Thursdays, and then Tuesdays is kind of a wild card. I did some Animal Crossing so I could check out the Halloween content this week. But some of the other games I'm kicking around would include Probably the Evil Within 2. Probably do some more of that, but then I also want to do some lighter, less spooky stuff like Flipping Death, which is, kind of a Tim Burton-ish, childish little adventure game that I thought would be fun to explore. But yeah, that is where you can find me, and I hope you dig the content.
Cool. And y'all can find me at youtube.com/AbaddonSmith, where for over 30 days, I have been just releasing nothing but videos after videos after videos after videos. So starting next week, we're going to sew it up to Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I can't say too much of the content that's coming out, but I could just say for those of you who've been following, the promise that I can make, you will be able to be fully interactive and follow along. And that's all I can say right now. So with that said, if you all enjoyed this episode of the ChillCast, make sure you hit that like button, you hit that subscribe button, and most of all, you make sure you share this with a friend. This is Abaddon, Studio Nintendo, and your player 2, and we are out. Take care, y'all.